When I was looking at the pictures this afternoon, I saw you had one turtle named George that had a broken jaw. I don't know how long ago that was. I don't know whether it survived. There's an x-ray of him, and then I saw that you had...
Well, maybe I'll do one little commercial.
Sure.
I do volunteer at the Sea Turtle Hospital. The aquarium is a non-profit. We derive all of our funds from donations, grants, and over the next 3 years, we're going to be building a new facility within the aquarium. So it'll be on the first floor, if you're familiar with the aquarium right now, we're in the basement. But we had a turtle named North Myrtle, and someone actually put pen to paper. We get so many myrtles, right? South Myrtle, North Myrtle, Little Myrtle. We put pen to paper and figured out how much it cost to rehabilitate this one turtle. Well, it was $22,000. So when you're a nonprofit, we are very careful with our money, and we've got a big, and Mary Alice is in charge. She's doing the fundraising for this new hospital, so she's the boss. But it's taken the aquarium to the next level. There's only one Sea Turtle Hospital in South Carolina. We're going to have our 100th rehabilitated turtle probably next spring. And we do great stuff. That turtle that you mentioned didn't have a chance. These turtles, we get these horrible, mostly bone strike wounds. And they're caked. They live for weeks, where your dog would be gone in a half an hour. So these animals are really tough, and they deserve a chance. And that's what we're doing.
We're going to take a few minutes and do some questions from the audience. And I think we'll just come back to Ken and give him an opportunity. Who has a question for Ken? Don't be shy. I don't know anything about turtles.
What's it feel like to have 5 wives?
What is it time?
Expensive.
Hey, Ken, I'm a big fan. Tell us about your next book.
Funny you should ask. I mentioned my first 2 novels, Swallow Savannah and Sister Santee. They're both South Carolina stories set in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I just finished, and it's at the printer right now, actually, the 3rd novel. And like you, I didn't know I was writing a trilogy when I started, but it turned out to be. And this was in the 90s and the 2000s, set in South Carolina, and it's called Salkehatchie Soup. Everybody say that with me. Salkehatchie Soup. Thank you. Salkehatchie, for those of you who don't know, is a river here in South Carolina. Not much of one. It's kind of a muddy swamp. It runs about 80 miles down the left Rowan of South Carolina, down into the Yates Basin, into the Combahee River and the Yates Basin. Unfortunately, right at the headwaters of the Salkehatchie is where we buried 3,600 tons of nuclear waste. It's about the nuclear waste that's buried in our beautiful state. It's right near where I grew up. And that is the Salkehatchie Soup, is the nuclear waste, and what could happen if it gets into our water supply. A lot of it was high level when they were doing plutonium. They buried a lot of stuff in the Savannah River plant there. The Savannah River plant is 300 square miles. They came in and took 300 square miles of South Carolina to build these reactors to make plutonium, and now it's really good deer hunting, but they buried a lot of nuclear waste there and their mistakes and a lot of things. And then, to make matters worse, over the last 25, 30 years, we accepted low-level nuclear waste from other states, and they were just trucking it in and burying it in the ground. So it's a part of the state not many people know much about. I was talking with, when I talked with Pat Conroy, I'll drop his name wherever I can. Pat put on my next book, he endorsed my first 2 and my 3rd one. I'm so charmed and privileged by that. But on this last one, he said, nobody picks at the scabs of South Carolina like her native son, Ken Berger. And this is really, you know, it's a good story, and I was saying before, it's a thriller, it's a love story, it's all this stuff, but the real story is the nuclear waste and what's going on in our state. Thank you for asking. That's coming out December 1st. Thank you.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
How did you transition